Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. As most of you know, with iPhone reselling, there's a lot of risks that are associated with it. And the one way that we can truly protect ourselves is, yeah, we can check everything on the phone, check the IMEI, but the one thing legally that protects us is that bill of sale. And that's one thing I stress on my channel a lot, is the bill of sale and how important it is to protect us from buying any false and bad IMEI phones that we can get in trouble with the police with. So with that said, in today's video, I'm actually going to be walking you through how I actually approach my bill of sale, some tips with it, and I'm just going to be getting into my computer. So with that said, let's get into it. So as you guys can see, we're actually in my computer again for second video. I think it's really good to engage with you guys, really show you exactly what I'm doing other than just talking. So before we actually get into it and give an example of a bill of sale that I would write, if you guys don't have this bill of sale, I'm giving it out for free, so definitely shoot your email down below or just say I need the bill of sale and I'll ask you to give me your email and I'll shoot out that bill of sale for free for you guys. This is the exact one that I use. I got it for somewhere for free, so I'm obviously not going to be charging for it. I just want you guys to be protected as much as possible because this is a lot of money that we're putting up at stake for iPhones. And with that said, I've had my losses and I definitely want to use this channel to teach you guys how to avoid those so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. So first, with the bill of sale, you always want to make sure that the seller of the phone that you're going to be buying knows before the meeting that you are going to be bringing a bill of sale, and then they need an identification. Usually it's just a driver's license most of the time. Sometimes it's like school ID, whatever it may be, based on the person's situation. They just need something with their picture and their name on it. This is very important because in the beginning I made the mistake of not always telling people. I show them the bill of sale and they just say they're not comfortable, and I simply can't do the sale because I need the bill of sale to protect myself. It's nothing against them. You have to make sure that they understand that this is simply just kind of the business side of what we're doing. And one thing I like to tell them, if they're kind of cautious about it, they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to give my face and my name on it. One, it's probably skeptical, so you probably don't want to buy those phones. That people are really shutting that down really fast. But people that kind of skeptical, I'll say I'm simply using this for tax purposes. I run a business where I buy and resell phones. So I just simply need it. I'm not using it for any information other than for the government side and actually tax filing and stuff like that. So the second point for the bill of sale is actually you want to conduct it at the end of the actual meeting process. So yeah, I'm going to get there, introduce myself, and then I'm going to go through the phone, make sure everything's correct. If you guys don't know what you need to be checking for on a phone, just watch that iPhone buyer checklist video. It's probably about 10-15 videos back, but very important for you guys to go through those steps. But at the end of that, if everything checks out, or if you kind of negotiated because something was different and they still agree on a price, you're going to pull out that bill of sale, ask for the identification. So let's actually get into what I would be writing on the exact bill of sale. So as you can see here, it's pretty simple format. I just kind of want to go through it with you guys just so you have a reference in terms of how to actually fill out the bill of sale if you've never used it before. But up here, you're simply going to fill out the date sold. So today would just be March 23rd, 2018. Sorry, this is I'm just in a PDF, so it's kind of hard to edit. But here, the seller's just going to list their name, their address, city, just going to list everything. I typically just ask for one phone number. This is great also because if something goes wrong with the phone, you have a number to contact. It might be false, it might be a real number. That's something you can't really check, but the seller is where they're going to be filling out, and the buyer is obviously where you're going to be filling it out. And I typically let them fill out all the information before I will fill out anything, simply because obviously you don't necessarily want to give them your address. So I typically will just fill it out right after they've done everything. So after they fill out all the information, here's the most important part. It's the information on item that was sold. So this is where you're going to list every detail about the phone. So you just going to want to list what the phone is. And the first thing would be, let's just give an example. So it'd be an iPhone 7 Plus, let's say 128 gigabytes, and then the carrier. So let's say AT&T. Next, I want to give the condition of the phone. So if there's any minor scratches, you want to list exactly where on the phone it is. So let's say crack on the top right and minor scratches in the back. And one great thing about listing all this stuff is you're going to be able to reference this back. Like if for me, I actually go and have a spreadsheet of all my phones that I sell, the exact date, all the information on them. So if I ever forget anything, I can simply go back to the bill of sale and then just look up any information I might need for that spreadsheet to actually list all my phones so I can keep track of it for tax purposes. The next part would be the IMEI. So let's just, I'm not going to fill in a number, I just don't know a number off the top of my head, but it's basically that 14 or 15 digit number that you're going to list. This is probably the most important part of the information that you're going to be needing on the bill of sale, because that's the one indication of what the phone is and it identifies the phone. The IMEI is basically a unique number that is different for every single phone out there. So for my phone and your phone, they're going to have two separate IMEIs. It's basically just like the number that Apple has in their database to identify that this is the type of phone it is, this is the model, this is where you can check like the blacklist status, make sure it's good with any carrier it was given with. So IMEI is definitely something you need to get. If you don't get anything, the IMEI is the most important. That's just the one thing you should not be forgetting. And that's pretty much it. You just want to list the phone type. Another thing I might list is like the model number, just if I know it off the top of my head or it says on the phone. But you just want to list as much information as you can think of. And if there's anything on the phone, you want to write it on there. If there's a minor scratch in the back, if it's a bad LCD, if the foggy camera, whatever it may be, you want to list it there. It's not necessarily important for the technicalities of a bill of sale as much as the IMEI is, but it's important for you in case you forget any information on the phone. Like if you go and resell on eBay and something happens with it, you can reference the bill of sale. Again, you can contact the seller if anything goes wrong, if they give you a valid number, and then you could just confirm that this was the IMEI of the phone. So here we're basically going to just list the price of it. So let's just say $200, and then out here we can say cash. And I always typically do cash. It's just easier. I don't like to deal with PayPal, online systems, fees like that. Giving them cash is the easiest system, and it's easier on the other side. So now getting to the last part is simply just the signatures of both you and the seller of the phone. You're obviously the buyer, they're the seller, and then you just want to list the date on there. And with that said, that's pretty much it, guys, for the bill of sale. It's pretty simple. This should honestly take you about max 3 to 5 minutes. It's just basically listing everything about the phone. And one thing that you guys need to be doing at the end of the bill of sale is getting their ID. I typically will put the ID on the top left-hand corner, take a picture of it. There's just an extra piece of information. Again, you want to have identification to show that this is the person's face with their name and they didn't give you a false name, because if they can easily just give you a false name if you don't ask for an identification. And if you don't take a picture with it, there's no validation that that was the actual owner of the phone. So you need to have a name. You need to have a face with the name for it. It's just part of the legal side of the business. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, this is a pretty simple thing, but the bill of sale is something you definitely need to incorporate in your business model for iPhone flipping. If you haven't started and already started phone flipping, definitely ask for this bill of sale. I'll shoot you an email. I check within 5-10 minutes. It's pretty fast. So don't let the bill of sale slide. It is your most important piece of information, and it will protect you. A lot of the times you won't even need the bill of sale, but for that 1%, that 1% could be $500 to $1,000 that you might lose simply because you didn't get this bill of sale, you felt bad or felt awkward. If something is an awkward transaction and they're just simply not like giving you enough information on the bill of sale, I will simply walk away from it. Don't be afraid to walk away from a deal, because you're technically just saving yourself upwards of $500 to $1,000 again. It's just part of the business. You have to pick and choose what you want, and you have to have some sort of common sense and be able to read people. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to join the family, and if you're not in that phone flipping Facebook group, I do have the link down below. So basically a free group on Facebook where I give a tip of the day, some tips that I typically won't give on YouTube. It's more personalized. You can ask questions and I'll probably respond there faster. So you can always shoot me a private message on Facebook too. It's probably a quicker way to reach me if you have any immediate questions, or like an iPhone. If you're actually at an iPhone deal and you have a question, I most likely will respond to it within 30 seconds. I'm always on my phone. That's kind of how I make money. It's just through the internet and my iPhone and my computer. So I'm always on it. Shoot me a message. And with that said, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.